Grannies do acrylic pour.
And grandpas too.
Grannies on the go, off their rockers, and doing what they love.
What do you call this type of art?
This is acrylic pouring form of art because you experience it. It kind of does its thing, and you observe and you enjoy what happens after you pour the paint.
So it looks like the first step to doing acrylic pour is to go to a place that has a covered table or a safe table.
Protect your furniture. Yeah. You wouldn't want to have to try to get it off a really nice finish on a table. Plastic and gloves. Yes, paint clothes for sure. Because I always think, oh, I'm going to be so careful, and inevitably can get crazy when you're in the throes of the creative process. Well, the next thing would be to select a canvas, and I like these canvas that are pretty economical, the economy type stretch canvases. The next step, your colors. Pictures that we've done have at least 5 colors and almost always at least some white and some black. I've been doing real well with just this crafts paint. It's like acrylic paint, and depending on how much you want to do, the big sizes are more economical. We do have some metallic paints. The gold and silver is sometimes sink to the bottom of the other paints because it's a little heavier. Because a surprising amount of paint will come off of these, and that way you kind of corral the paint. But I just got to thinking, you know, what can contain this a little bit more than just newspapers? Because it will flow in surprising ways. And this is silicone. That's another feature or element that you can add to your paint colors, and what that will do is create even more motion, dispersing. It tends to send the paint out into different, exposing maybe more layers. Oh, and the pouring medium, that's another thing I should talk about. The pouring medium, and this is, it says Liquitex, but it's actually a combination of Liquitex and Floetrol, because we discovered that just basic construction grade paint stores have, I think, basically the same thing for like $14 a gallon, whereas this might be 100 and something a gallon in a craft store. Okay, so then you pick your colors, and we're going to be mixing the individual colors in these Dixie cup sized things. And what we're going to do, I might first begin by, I'm going to squirt like a little amount in each cup, and you basically have 1-to-1 ratio between the pouring medium and the paint color. Eventually, when we combine the colors, that it kind of fills this much of the cup or so. And again, I say be judicious with black. It's necessary. I have found that if you don't use some of it, if there's not as much definition and drama.
What's judicious?
I know what drama is.
And you want to use individual, I use the handles on these. You want to use one per, you don't want to mix your colors yet. Yes, and you can saturate it to where you want it. If you want a lighter value of the color, you can put a little less, or if you want it to be a little darker. And of course, if you want to even blend some colors in the cup, within the cup, if you don't see the shade you want, you can do that. But you want to get it homogeneous.
What's homogeneous?
Before pouring it into the big cup.
Big words.
Oh my goodness.
Now this actually can be washed off with water.
When it gets on skin and fabric and things, it's surprisingly tenacious.
What's tenacious?
How it done.
Now, okay, so I've got my black, white, pink, kind of a bright green, I guess it would be just a very basic blue, and then a more brighter aqua blue, and a bright orange, and yellow, because this will be so interesting to see how these different colors interact with each other. Next, the disbursement factor. And you can either, if you want a lot of modules and reptilian looking things, you could put the silicone a drop or two in every single paint thing, or if you want to just kind of mix it up a little bit, you can, you know, every other color or just a couple colors. I'm gonna stir a little bit in, maybe half of the colors, to create a little more movement and openings and interaction between the colors. So whoop, there's a couple there. It comes out fast. So I put it in 3 colors. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoop. And so I have 8 colors, don't I? I do one, just another drop or 2 in the pink. All right, so I did it in half the colors. And then you want to mix that in a little bit as well. You don't have to. So now what we have kind of generally found is to start from dark color and gradually go from dark to light. So now we take our bigger cup. I'm thinking maybe for this size canvas, about half the cup is good, or a little over half. So then the exciting part, the moment
Moment of
of
truth.
finding out what's going to happen. And we've been doing it this way. There's some people that will just pour straight from the cup and just keep swirling around and pouring. You can try that if you want, but I have mostly been doing this.
Oh, cool.
And again, as you pour, don't worry about what you see.
I see what you mean about having the lid underneath.
Yes, because that'll hold a lot of stuff. Yeah, so see what's happening in these little dots. The silicone is coming into play. It's opening up the colors, and it's revealing maybe a layer underneath what's on top. And you can never predict. I always think I know what it's going to look like. I've never been able to imagine by the time it's over what it actually ends up looking like.
It's so peaceful.
Yeah, right. It's just a little magic. So you need to mix more, or do you?
I need some more. Could you hand me that way? I'm going to use this, what I already have.
Okay.
Put a drop in.
Just a little bit.
One more color than I think I. So how much do you think one of these would cost if you were doing this and you wanted to be reimbursed in some way?
Yeah. It's hard to say. I mean, I buy all this stuff on sale, and the Floetrol turned out to be really cheap at the paint store. So I mean, I would guess you could, and I buy my acrylics on sale too when they're half price, and you know sometimes you can get these can sometimes be like $1 something, and you can get them for half price. Or you're getting them for 50 or 75 cents a piece. And
Where's the white?
I would guess that really you could do one for $3 or $4 easily.
That seems like a good, because I know my needlepoint is like $100 a
Oh yeah, this
pop
is
now.
this is a pretty economical process.
Oh, I like it
my
better
God,
already.
it's really
I like
pretty.
it better already.
Oh, that is very cool.
Wow.
I would just leave it like that. Now,
And
what,
you know what?
what made it better?
You know what?
No, I
That's
gotta
what Jordan did. She left blank space on all edges, and that was interesting too. Oh, look at that. Bring them.
So, Granny,
Are you gonna meet me? Yeah.
Granny Martha, what'd you think?
It was very relaxing. First I was a little tense, but then I did relax. I thought, I'm just going to go with whatever.
Oh, they're like snowflakes. There's no two alike. And it's just such an individual experience of...
Yeah, it is.
That's
all, folks.
Oh my
Yeah, they
gosh.
are. They're still
They're still changing. Look at this one.